chickadee check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself, because the last time I checked, shotgun bullets are bad for your health. So if there's one gripe that I have with the Pixel 4, it's battery life, which if you're a tech enthusiast, a phone enthusiast, this shouldn't be anything new. The battery life on the Pixel 4 has been subpar. Usually by 7 or 8 p.m., I'm looking to charge this thing, or I run out of battery, especially when I use this in maps for navigation. This thing eats battery like crazy. But I've seen a lot of other reviewers lately talking about how the battery life on the Pixel 4 has gotten better just through software updates. So what I want to do is I want to take a couple days, I haven't figured out how many yet, to see if the battery's gotten better. Now, how this is going to work is my iPhone 11 Pro has been my daily driver for months now. It's the phone that I always have in my left pocket. This is my daily driver pocket, my left pocket. My secondary phone pocket is my Pixel 4. Anyway, this Pixel 4 is now going in my left pocket. What I'm gonna do is section out day by day my experience with the Pixel 4, what I've used it for mostly, cellular coverage versus Wi-Fi, and kind of see if it's gotten better. Okay, so I'm looking at this screenshot, and so the first day I started this was yesterday, Thursday, February 13th, 10:47 a.m., 100% battery. And then I hit 1% battery today, Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, at 10:53 a.m. So just a little over a full day of battery life. I wasn't as heavy on this phone on day one as I typically am. So I'm looking at my screen usage here, and it shows 3 hours. I think I used this for a little over an hour for navigation. So I had maps open, using Navi, or using navigation. Why am I saying Navi? Using navigation, and that's usually one of the biggest battery drains when I use this phone, is connecting this to my car and using maps, or using the map app, Google Maps, and using navigation. So I had about an hour's worth of that. And I use Spotify. For a long time yesterday. I would say at least 3 or 4 hours worth of Spotify. I forgot to look at the breakdown. That's what I should have done, is I should have took a screenshot of the breakdown of everything I used. But Spotify, I think I used for about 3 or 4 hours. And this morning when I went to the gym, I actually connected my AirPods. Do I have my... It's like I have to show a visual. I connected my AirPods to my Pixel 4 for the first time, and it actually worked pretty great. But I had I think I was at the gym for 40 minutes, and I used the AirPods for 40 minutes as well on the Pixel 4 when it was, I think I only had like 7 or 8% battery life, and it got me through my whole workout, which is also really interesting because when the Pixel 4 drained down to 1% battery, it stayed there for a while. Typically, when it hits 1%, like the phone dies right away. I can't give you an exact time frame, but I've noticed in the past when it's at a very low percentage, under 5%, that thing is just draining like a bitch. But today at 1%, it hung there for a while. Yeah, 20 minutes and 25 seconds. So I was on a 20-minute phone call that was also connected to my car yesterday. You know, obviously Chrome, Twitter here and there. Oh, yeah. And then YouTube. I watched a good amount of YouTube videos. The way my usage is if I go past 20 hours, I think that's a good day. If I can go through the phone for over 20 hours without having to kind of like push back on it, you know, not use it as much because I don't want to waste the battery, then that's a good day. I will say too, on my Pixel 4, I will say I'm motherfucker. Okay, so today is day 2 of testing my battery with the Pixel 4. Don't mind my mic. I was actually able to kind of jerry rig it up. So, you know, good audio. That's important. Who cares about how this looks? Anyway, for day 2, I charged this phone until it hit 100% at 12:54 p.m. and it only lasted me until 4:57 a.m. the next day. So just right around 16 hours. Now, the biggest thing that I did differently here was I actually left the 90 hertz option on. That's not something I typically leave on, but I did notice that I left it on the whole time, so it is what it is. I did not use navigation, so there wasn't maps that I was using that usually drains my battery, but the 90 hertz definitely took its toll on the battery life for my phone. I did take the battery usage stats, and it shows here that I use YouTube for an hour and 53 minutes because I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but still not even 2 hours or just around 2 hours of YouTube, and it was such a huge drain. It says 23%. Chrome used for 39 minutes, Telegram for 45 minutes or 44 minutes, Instagram for 18 minutes. So it wasn't a whole lot of usage, but to go 16 hours, you know, that's a disappointment. So what I'm gonna do for day 3, which is something that I'm already in the middle of day 3, is I turned off 90 hertz, always on display turned off, you know, just the typical things that I turn off to use my phone, and hopefully it'll stretch the time out for day 3. Oh, also screen usage. So it shows here that screen usage since full charge was 3 hours and 48 minutes. So not even 4 hours of screen on time with 90 hertz on. And again, there was nothing really different that I used about it, except I didn't use navigation. Yesterday, I did use, you know, I connected my car with Spotify, and again, mostly YouTube, Chrome, but there was nothing out of the ordinary. I don't game. I wasn't doing anything really intensive. Just the only difference here was 90 hertz was on. So I'm going to turn that off again for day 3, and hopefully, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get better results. But for 90 hertz on, that's already disappointing because yes, this is now the newest update. Battery supposedly better, but with 90 hertz on, no. I mean, I can tell you already, don't turn it on if you're trying to go for more than 4 hours of screen on time, or trying to go a full day without having to worry about your battery, without having to pull back on using your phone to its full, or to your 100% full potential. Okay, so today is day 3. Again, don't mind my rigged up microphone here. As long as it works, that's all that matters. For day 3 on my Pixel 4, I have a screenshot here. I'll show it with you guys, or I'll share it with you guys. 7:55 a.m., 100%. And I got down to 1% today, 7:39 a.m., so it didn't even make 24 hours, which is, you know what? I really thought that the battery was going to be better after day 1. I felt like that's the day it did the best, but maybe not, because I just didn't use the screen. I might have used it for Spotify and had the speaker on the entire time, and it worked great then, but as soon as the speaker, or as soon as the screen, the display shows, that's just when it eats battery. 90 hertz just makes it worse. So for day 3, it shows here that I used Chrome for 55 minutes, Spotify for 2.5 hours, and I did use Spotify for, you know, in my car, so I had it connected for that. Telegram for an hour, YouTube for 51 minutes, and it shows here that the screen usage was for 3 hours and 37 minutes. So again, not even 4 hours. Now I'm not sure what I need to do to get 4 hours of screen on time. I will say for Wi-Fi on this, it was about maybe 75% LTE, 25% Wi-Fi. Do I just need to put the phone on Wi-Fi the entire time? I don't live my life that way. Most of the time I'm out and I'm doing things and I'm not connected to Wi-Fi. So I was really thinking of doing a day 4 for battery for Pixel 4, for the Pixel 4, but I might just leave it as is. And for anyone that's wondering, if you're not a heavy user of a phone, and these days that I use these 3 days, I was pretty light. I really didn't use it as long as I thought I would. You know, the first couple days, I just wasn't on my phone as much. And then same as last night or yesterday, I wasn't on as much. But for people who need to go all day without having to charge, the Pixel 4 is not for you. not even with the new update. I don't know if there was a noticeable difference, not enough of a difference to say, yes, the battery is now amazing, because you just cannot replace a physical battery. Yes, you can make improvements on software, but Google still isn't there yet. If you want a clean Android experience, you're still better off getting the Pixel 4 XL and then just skipping the Pixel 4. I can't share with you how much better the battery is there. You do get a bigger battery though. It should last you longer. That's really it. Just keep it there. I was really hoping I was going to make this video and I was going to use it an entire week and be like, this battery is so much more amazing than it used to be. But in my experience, I mean, maybe it's different for other people, but for me, it just didn't work as well. With that being said, I got to stick with my iPhone 11 Pro. Hey, Kit, I said, with that being said, I used your line. Hey, your repetitive line. Anyway, that should be it. Okay, so disregard everything I said yesterday. I mean, don't disregard everything, but I ended up doing a day 4 test. I think it's day 4. So when I charged the phone yesterday, I hit 100% at 9:36 a.m. and then I hit 1% at 5:10 a.m. today. So not 24 hours, was that 20 hours or so, but I got 6 hours, 7 minutes screen on time, which is, first of all, I didn't think that the Pixel 4 could even get anywhere near that. Now, I got 6 hours because I left YouTube on and I actually fell asleep watching something on YouTube and it just kept playing throughout the night. Not all of it, but a good chunk of it was YouTube. I don't know if I did get battery usage. So YouTube was used for 5 hours and 30 minutes of that time. Telegram, 14 minutes, Instagram, 8 minutes. I had a busy day yesterday, so I wasn't on my phone much, but when I got home, I just used YouTube most of the time. So a big chunk of that was from YouTube, but that really knocked battery usage out of the park, or screen on time out of the park, for over 6 hours. The only difference I did here was YouTube again, but it was also, I think I used LTE maybe 20% of the time. So 20% of the time was cell data, 80% of the time was Wi-Fi. And then actually today, because I'm probably just going to end this video with the conclusion that a lot of this could be inconsistent, but to see that the phone can do a screen on time of 6 hours with YouTube, I know that it was just on Wi-Fi, is still pretty impressive. I just don't know if that's going to be your everyday use, which is why I can't continue this, because I'm not just sitting at home all day watching YouTube. If that's your case, then you should have a power source, because that's not how I live my life, and I'm assuming most of you don't either. But today the battery's still pretty good. I'm at 53%, so I'm at half battery right now. And let me just look at my battery settings here, or battery stats. So 53% with screen usage of 2 hours and 45 minutes. So almost 3 hours, which is kind of indicative of another maybe 5 hour plus screen on time. Again, everyone's results are going to vary. I still don't think that the battery life has improved dramatically, but I don't know, maybe this is an outlier, this specific one. I guess I could continue the test for another week or so, but I really don't think it's going to be a consistent thing. But why don't you tell me your results? Let me know how well your battery life's been doing with the Pixel 4. Okay, so I know I keep saying that I'm done testing the battery, but day 5, I got over, I don't have any screenshots to show you guys because I actually fell asleep last night when my battery died, when my phone died, but I got over 5.5 hours of screen on time yesterday on this. Yesterday, or the day before, it was 6 hours and then 5.5. Okay, to be fair, on both of those days where it got over 5 hours, 5.5 hours, 6 hours, Wi-Fi was probably an 80 to 20 split. Wi-Fi 80%, LTE cellular 20%, but that's still huge. Those are huge numbers for a small battery on a Pixel 4. Again, those are numbers that I am not used to seeing. Those are numbers that I would never expect from a phone with this battery size. Completely unexpected. And I just don't know if that's something that got updated because of a software push, right? If they did something to make the phone more efficient. I have to point out that on the Pixel 4, the way I use it, I have night mode on. I do not have always on display, or always on display is off. And 90 hertz, I don't use that. I keep it at 60 hertz because from, what was that, day 2 or day 3, it just ate the battery like crazy. So it's really weird because the first few days, the battery was pretty awful, but I did use LTE a lot more. And then these last 2 days when I was getting over 5 hours of screen on time, it was more of a Wi-Fi use. It's hard to recommend the Pixel 4 because I just don't know how good the battery is going to be. It is very nice to see the screen on time be as high as it is. Again, completely unexpected, but you have to know what you're buying, right? If you're going to be somebody that's going to be going around and you're not going to have a power source with you throughout the day, like for example, if you're not working a desk job and you just can't plug in and you're a heavy user, then it probably is just not the right phone for you. As encouraging as it is to see all of these, like the last couple days, the great battery results, it's still something that's hard for me to recommend if you are a power user, a heavy user. The one thing that's a redeeming feature is, I don't know if you guys have seen this deal, but Costco right now, you can get a Pixel 4 from T-Mobile for $299, which is an absurd deal. Like, I didn't even know that it was going for that cheap. I thought when that deal came out, I thought it was $399 and $499 respectively for the Pixel 4 XL, which are already great deals, but this is $299 for a Pixel 4 brand new, and then $399 for a Pixel 4 XL brand new. If you are a heavy user who enjoys clean Android, vanilla Android, quick updates, and well, also great performance and a great camera, then the Pixel 4 XL at $399 is probably one of the best deals you're going to find for 2020. I mean, I actually talked about this on a stream I had earlier today, but forget about 5G. 5G is too early. It's not polished, and don't worry about all of that like bullshit marketing that you're hearing about how 5G is so great and it's the next like upcoming thing. It might be in the future, but we're not there yet. I mean, a lot of phones are still offering 4G at faster speeds than what 5G can give you today. So, conclusion is the battery for the Pixel 4, I've been kind of impressed, but I have to turn a lot of those other things off. I have to turn 90 hertz off. I have to use Wi-Fi more often than not to get the results that you might want to see. But realistically, when you're out and about, those numbers are probably not what you're going to see.